Hi, welcome back to Hill and Ponton's YouTube channel. I am attorney Melanie Williams, and today we're going to talk about going from a 90% rating to a 100% VA disability rating. Before we go into exactly why it's so difficult to turn a 90% rating into a 100% rating, we need to go over how the VA does their rating system, how it works, and why it might be worth pursuing that 100% compensation if you're at 90% already. If you are a disabled veteran who's in the VA system, you may already know how this works if you already have a rating. The VA has, I'm going to call it a strange way of combining percentages. We call it VA math because ultimately your percentages are not added together. So as you may know already, when you are assigned a VA disability rating, it ranges from a 10%, or actually it starts at 0%, but the compensation starts at 10% and it goes up to 100% from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. And each one of those percentages is assigned a different amount, a different monetary amount that you would receive on a monthly basis. The way that they determine which rating you're assigned to depends on what's called the diagnostic code. So every disability that you can think of, the VA lays it out in this diagnostic code with the symptoms, with the severity corresponding to a rating percentage. And so they assign that percentage. And you can have different percentages for different conditions. So for example, tinnitus, you would be given a 10% rating. If it's PTSD or depression or mental condition, it's usually assigned either a 10%, 30%, 50%, 70%, or a 100% rating. So once you are assigned a rating for each of these individual conditions, the VA then combines them, doesn't add them up, combines them. So the way that they do it is a person who does not have any disability they are 100% able or functioning. Once they assign a rating, it means you are 10%. So if they assign a 10% rating, it means you are 10% disabled. They then take that remaining 90% of which you are able and determine what the next percentage is from there. If you are assigned a rating percentage for more than one condition, the VA combines those. So let's say you are given a 70% rating for PTSD as well as a 50% rating for migraines. If you add those, they combine to way more than 100. So that's not what they do. What they do is they have a formula where they combine them. So if you are rated at 70% for PTSD, then you are considered 70% disabled. They take that remaining 30% of which you are considered able, and that 30 is where they take the next 50% from. So 50% of 30 is 15. So you go back to that 70% of PTSD and add that 15 and you get 85. That 85 then rounds up to 90. And so 90% is then your combined rating. And so once you have that 90%, that's the amount that you will be receiving each month. The amounts of each percentage vary, as I discussed before, and I'm going to go through each one so that you know what the difference is and why it's important to have the difference between 90% and 100%. You'll see what I mean. Keep in mind, this is for the year 2021. They change each year. They adjust it for cost of living. And so these numbers that I'm giving you are applicable right now in 2021. When we start with 10%, the amount that you would receive each month is $144.14. At 20%, the amount that you would receive each month is $284.93. Now, once you get to 30% is when you can start receiving benefits for your dependents, but I'm going to go through these amounts just for a veteran alone so that you can see and compare, because each veteran is going to have a different amount of dependents and et cetera. So a veteran alone at a 30% rating would receive $441.35. At a 40% rating, you would receive $635.77. At 50%, you would receive $905.04. At 60%, you would receive $1,146.39. Are you still with me so far? So at 70%, you would receive $1,444.71. At 80%, you would receive $1,679.35. Now pay attention to the difference here. At 90%, you would receive $1,887.18. At 100%, you would receive $3,146.42 each month. That is a significant difference. That is the biggest jump between percentages. So that's why that 100% is something that we definitely want to aim for. Now, in order to do that, obviously it's going to depend on your symptoms, the severity of your symptoms, how many different conditions you're service connected for. And oftentimes, unfortunately, it's very difficult to get to that 100% combined rating because, as we discussed, the way that they combine the ratings, it makes it harder to add up the different percentages and the remaining, how we talked about the 70% and the remaining 30% that you're considered able, that number gets harder and harder to add up. So there's this other thing called TDIU, total disability based on individual unemployability. You may have heard of it before. We've talked about it on here. There are several videos on it. Individual unemployability is the same thing as 100%. So you get the same monetary amount, that $3,146.42. IU, 100%, same amount. In order to get IU, and again, IU stands for individual unemployability, that's what we call it. In order to get IU, it's when a veteran can't work because of their service-connected conditions. So the VA will essentially bump you up to that 100% if your percentages don't combine to that 100. So if you're not working or you're not able to sustain employment, if you find that you apply for a job, you start working, but you can't keep the job for more than a month because you can't get along with people, or you can't go into the office because of your panic attacks, or you have to leave early, or you're not able to perform the job. All of those things are things to take into account for whether a veteran is able to maintain employment or not. And so when the VA finds that your service-connected conditions prevent you from working, you are then assigned that individual unemployability, which is the same as 100%. Now, one caveat or thing to kind of keep in mind is that there are percentage requirements for the individual unemployability. And that's either you have one condition that's rated at 60% or a combined total of 70% with at least one condition being at 40%. I know that that sounds like a lot. Again, we have other videos and blogs where we kind of go into that more, but we are also happy to help if you call and you have a case where you think you might be entitled to IU and they're denying it. Please give us a call and we'd be more than happy to look into it and see if we could help. But that's all I have for today. So thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments if you liked the video or if you have questions and you'd like to know more. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss our next videos. Thank you so much.